The most common method for home tube feeding is bolus or syringe feeding. This is when a bolus or specific amount of formula, usually 1 can, is given over a short period of time. You can think of it as giving yourself a liquid meal down your tube 3 to 4 times a day or as prescribed by your physician. When you first begin to use bolus feeding, it is a good idea to start with a half can of formula. If there are no problems, increase to 3/4 and then to a full can. Most people find that it is easier to digest the formula when sitting upright or in a chair during a bolus or syringe feeding session. It is best to remain sitting upright for at least 30 minutes. How to bolus feed. Step 1. Wash your hands and clean off the top of the formula can with a damp paper towel. Shake the can well and then open. Step 2. Pull the plunger out of the syringe. Pinch, clamp, or fold over the feeding tube to prevent any stomach fluid from spilling out. Open the end of the feeding tube port. Put the syringe tip in the feeding tube port. Unfold or unclamp the feeding tube. To help prevent clogging, you should flush your tube with the desired amount of water before and after each feeding. Step 3. Filling the syringe. Pour the formula into the syringe. Add formula as needed to complete the feeding. Step 4. Giving the feeding. Hold the syringe upright and let gravity draw the formula through the tube. If needed, put the plunger back into the syringe and then gently push down to force the formula into the feeding tube. Repeat until the prescribed amount has been given. Flush the feeding tube with at least 1 ounce of water, or the amount prescribed by your physician. Replace the cap on the feeding tube port.